Hello everyone, welcome back to Real Red Talk. Man United have beaten Real Betis. Yeah, I was going to say she's not there anymore. I was going to ask her to pass me the Real Betis shirt, but doesn't matter. How are we all doing, guys, after that result? Adam, I'll go to you first.
Yeah, I suppose in terms of a response, it's exactly what you wanted. We'll get breaking down the game in a bit, but much better second half. Something that we maybe expected against the Scousers.
I know. Sam, fresh back from Old Trafford. What was the
Yeah.
atmosphere like? Can
Uh,
you still feel your toes? And yeah, what was your brief thoughts going into the game? Let's say. Let's try not to get into it too much at the minute.
Very nervous going into the game, and then we'll talk about the first half later, because it sort of reaffirmed my fears. But yeah, I was warm. Like I led up quite well, had thermals on and stuff, so I was fine. The atmosphere is really fucking banging, like absolute as always. It's always good in Old Trafford, and a certain man who's got on the score sheet, which made me very very happy. So yeah.
Absolutely. Just a quick question: did you get any pies, or did you get any food, or any beverages?
No, definitely not.
No worries. Just a quick curiosity. As I always usually go for the chicken bolte pie.
I don't have I can't remortgage my house to go buy something at Old Trafford.
It's true. It is very expensive. Yeah, I get that. Especially with the cost of living crisis and all that jazz. Anyway, yeah, let's start with the first half then. Adam, good start. Aggressive, confident in the first 5 minutes. I'd say literally that's how long it lasted, 5 to 10 minutes. We start messing about with it a little bit at the back, don't we? Playing ping pong, nearly concede, which then leads to the first goal. Talk me through that situation and what was going through your mind at the time.
Yeah, obviously the game kicks off. We're looking really, really well. I'm like, okay, we have a bit of confidence, building a bit of confidence back after the setback last weekend, and we started off phenomenally. Rashford with an unbelievable finish. I don't know how he's managed to put that much power in to
Rocket.
the roof of the net. An absolute rocket. But then we kind of, fell back a bit. We weren't really holding on to the ball as much, and we are being a bit lackluster at times, particularly along the back with the keeper as well. Very, very poor in the first half with his distribution. And I know it's a topic that we're probably going to discuss in a bit, but it was absolutely abysmal. And then their goal, potential handball. For me, I would have given it a handball. I mentioned it in the live, during the watch along, in the live chat, that Leach ended up having a bounce off his tie and up onto his arm, and that was given as a penalty. But the attacking player, for whatever reason, if it bounces off another part of the body on an attacking player, it isn't a handball. So you're just asking for consistency in the handball rules, and I don't know why it's so difficult to actually get it right. And then was it Iosi Perez, former Newcastle man? Yeah, ended up with an unbelievable finish into the net. And then we were lucky not to go 2-1 down right before halftime too. They hit the post, but they were on top till the end of the first half.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to rewind back a bit slightly, Sam. What was your take on the goal? What did you see the messing about? Was you frustrated with David De Gea? What was your thoughts on Rashford's finish as well? Let's talk about the first goal.
Yeah, we started really really brightly out of the trap. I thought it was really really good, exactly what I wanted and it wanted to see from them after that Liverpool result. I was losing my shit with David De Gea repeatedly, just every single pass just going to a Real Betis player, every single one of them. I don't think I counted a single one to United player at any point. Putting us under unnecessary pressure. Just why we know he's bad at it. Why are we constantly going back to him and passing it to him? Just take him out of the equation. Just go forward. Go to somebody else. Stop giving it to him because he can't do it. He's not capable of it. And crowd were getting on his back, getting really upset with it, not happy. And in the end, that's what we sort of invited pressure onto us, and that's what caused their goal. But yeah, the first sort of opening, I'd say like 30 minutes, we were on top of that game, dominating it, controlling it. Goal for 6 minutes in. I thought there's a second one coming here eventually. Like I thought we were perfectly fine for 30 minutes, and then last 15 was a scramble at times, and obviously they scored from a Casemiro misplaced pass.
Could you see the handball from where you was at? Did you have any clue at the time?
No,
There's no communication in Old Trafford. That's the thing. Like
I was like, on the halfway line, but on the second turn towards the back. So I had a good view tactically of everything, but I couldn't details and stuff. I couldn't tell.
Yeah. I want to talk about Regos as well. Adam, he was obviously in the watch along with me for a while, and we was discussing he was starting to look a bit more like a striker because the past couple of games he's been playing as a 10 but he was playing more as a bit of a poacher today. Had a lot of chances. We'll touch on his goal towards the end, but he scores a goal offside. Has a good few opportunities as well with crosses coming into the box. What was your assessment on his performance?
He played more kind of traditional number 9. Was a bit of a menace in the box as well, quite physical. Unlucky to not get a goal in the first half. One of their centre halves ended up doing a really, really good block. We didn't win the corner from that, and initially I thought he just put a wide ball. He is that kind of menace in the box at times for the opposition team, but we just haven't been using it near enough.
Yeah,
and maybe tonight is kind of a reason why we haven't been, because his finishing at times was horrendous. I know he was offside.
In general, sorry to cut you in there, Adam. I thought in general, the finishing from everyone was pretty shit. Like, we were so wasteful. We could have had about 7 or 8 goals.
We could have, honestly, including then the second half. I don't know how many chances. There was like 2 or 3 1-on-1s, and we didn't score any of them. Yeah. Which kind of says everything. And then you had like Liverpool last weekend, where they nearly scored with every single shot on target. We were actually hitting the target, but we couldn't find the back of the net.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we ended up getting a few goals, but it could have been an onslaught from us at the time. We could have easily put 7-8 past them, but finishing wasn't there tonight.
Just one brief thing I want to touch on Sam again, coming back to David De Gea, who I thought he had an absolute fucking stinker today. Give the ball away a good few times, but we nearly concede a goal from it as well when it hits the post. Again, not sure if you could see that one, but if that goes in, could have a different game on your hands there, because then Betis really sit back and you've got to kind of crack that formation down there, aren't you?
I mean, how many times, Nick, have we been on this and talked about David De Gea's distribution? Like, normally it's just kicking long. Like, that's normally where his issue is, and like, it is what it is, and I hate it, but there's nothing I could do about it. But even his short game was really shit today. Even his short passing was terrible. Just giving it to the opposition, giving opportunities, and like you said, hits the post, and we get lucky, manage to clear it. But like you said, if that goes in, do we get under the caution? Then do we capitulate again? Because we know United don't like going behind by more than 2. Like, as soon as we get scored to concede two goals, we seem to sort of flop, and it just goes to like absolute anarchy. So I'm just like, David De Gea probably our worst player on the pitch today. I just honestly was all over the place. I don't know why. Maybe it's because he conceded 7 at the weekend and he's
I was just about to say that. I don't think conceding that many goals will help with it, to be fair.
But yeah, he was terrible.
One thing about him, I just want to say, he probably ended up passing the ball to Ten Hag on the sidelines more than any of the players on the pitch.
Quite literally. I'm absolutely sure Ten Hag won't be happy about that. He'll be speaking to him about that after the game, 100%.
I just wanted to mention, like Adam did on Weghorst, he should have had about an hat-trick today. The amount of opportunities I saw, he's just literally on a plate, and like I absolutely love the guy, and I was like begging for him to score. Like, I was like, just please, one of these go in, for the love of God. And then like towards the end, I know we'll get there eventually, but I was like saying to DC next to me, I was like, I'm not leaving till he scores. Like, I'm staying till he fucking scores, because it
could have been there a while the way it was going.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was just like, Jesus Christ. But I'm glad he's finally got there. But yeah, like, David De Gea needs to. I don't know what we need to do to get his distribution to a level that is acceptable, because that wasn't it. That was terrible. Like, if that's City or Liverpool or something, it's game over, isn't it?
I think it's definitely a discussion to have 100% going into the summer. I don't know what's going on with the contract situation. Apparently, he's willing to take a cut or whatever it is. Then you sign him down. Once he's signed down, then to a 5-year contract or whatever it is, that's your number 1 goalkeeper. So it's a big decision to make. You can still bring a guy in, but nobody likes an unsettled goalkeeper. Nobody likes. You saw what happened with Henderson when he was here. It's just unsettled. You want your number 1 to be your number 1, number 2. That's how it should go. So I don't know how Ten Hag's going to handle that situation, but it's interesting. Bringing it back to the game slightly, we were talking about Weghorst there, how he had so many chances and he was a bit wasteful. But another person who was wasteful was Anthony. I thought Anthony could have had a fucking hat-trick, numerous. Like, it's so many opportunities that he had where he could have squared it, or where, we could have just put it in the back of the net. He did, however, Adam score an absolute will there, which was all right, wasn't it?
It was at the time I was in the kitchen. I was watching it with my father, and he was just laying into Anthony at the time.
Yeah.
He's worse than that Harry Maguire. All this, and I don't know why the comparisons there with Harry Maguire. But then he
Easy
ended up just
target, innit?
absolutely curling. Yeah, he curled one into the top bins then, and I was like, oh, he's not
Beautiful.
that bad now, is he? But
Yeah.
at times his game is just so frustrating. Like I think you mentioned it there, squaring the ball. There was 3 players that he could have. Like if it went past one, the second man was getting it, and if it went past the second, Rashford was at the end of it. So there was 3 people queuing up for it, and he just goes for the shot with his right foot, and we know he doesn't have a right foot, and that's a bit of a worry at times. Like I know we've made the comparison with Robin at times, but the guy, like, he knew how to, like, basically beat his man and actually use his right foot for squaring the ball at times. But he's afraid to use his right foot, and it's frustrating. Very, very selfish today. And easily, if he made the right, decisions at the key times, he could have had a hat trick, and he could have also had an assist, and that's man of the match performance. And we're not having this discussion then. We're saying, oh, he was the best player on the pitch tonight.
Yeah.
But
and the game was killed off as well, more importantly, innit? Like, if he does what he should do, that tie's done, which I think it probably is anyway. But yeah, it's done, innit? If it's
should be done and dusted now. Thank God we got the 4th. Because we were saying if he had squared at that time, that was the tie, and we did get it in the end. But he just needs to learn to be less selfish, and he didn't even look that happy coming off the pitch. And then I felt like Palestri ended up doing a lot better when he came on, and we'll probably get onto that. So
100%.
that kind of said everything.
Yeah, we'll touch on that. I want to talk about corners, Sam, because another thing we talk about David De Gea.
Finally,
a lot on here.
Finally, we're gonna corner. Fucking hell.
We notoriously take a lot of short corners, but if you think about what was the game before Liverpool? Was it West Ham? West Ham won it, where Bruno puts the ball into the box, we score from a corner, and then what did we do today? Luke Shaw puts the ball in, and Bruno, usually the set piece taker, scores from a corner. Thoughts on that goal?
Fantastic. I was like watching it. I was just like looking at it. I was like, I had Adam in my head, the voice in my head going, "It's going to be a short corner. It's going to be a fucking short corner, this." And then nobody goes up to Shaw. I'm like, oh, fuck, he might actually put this in the box. Puts it in the box, and goal goes in. I couldn't quite tell who it was. I was like, who the fuck is that? Like, screaming, shouting. And it's Bruno. I'm like, Bruno scored. Who the fuck took the corner? Like, I couldn't tell from where. And it's like, Shaw. But yeah, this is just what shows you. If we get quality delivery in the box, we've got players capable of scoring. Casemiro is good at heading the ball. Bruno, apparently. Rashford's worked on it. All right, Vegas is a bit shit at it, but like, you've got other players in the box who are good at it. I don't understand why we don't do it more. I don't understand why we consistently do short corners, because the 2 times we've done it in like previous games, we've scored. Like, it's baffling to me, but yeah, well taken goal. That puts us 2-1 up, and you think, all right, we're in the ascendancy now. This means we're probably going to win this game, if not putting a couple past them, because after that we just seem to absolutely dominate the game after that goal went in.
Yeah, I think one thing that's going to underrate. Go on, man.
I was just going to say, last weekend against Liverpool, I think we took 2 short corners and they break on the counter after we gave it away cheaply. So like, you just get it into the box, because that West Ham game was probably the most annoying game in terms of short corners, and then they finally put one in and they get it, and it happens again tonight after a few short corners. So I don't get why we just don't do it, and maybe it comes down to the set piece coaches and that they're saying, oh, take it short, but it's the players on the pitch at the end of the day. Just get it into the box.
Correct me if I'm wrong as well. Doesn't one of City's goals come from that as well? Malacia loses out. We play it short. We play it back to Malacia, or he slips, or I can't remember what happened, and then City go up the pitch to score. So it's happened numerous times. In fairness, yeah, Bruno getting on the score sheet, fantastic, especially after the performance he had on Sunday. That goal would have done him a world of confidence, I imagine. Much better for him today. We move on to the next goal. Substitutions come on, McTominay and Palestra. A couple of people on the watch long wasn't happy with that. Sancho as well. Yeah, Sancho was relatively bright, but Palestra involved. From the corner, go to the edge of the box, would you class that as a short one? I don't know if you class that as a short. It's not really, is it? But they play it straight to the edge of the box. Palestra picks it up, beats 3 men, does really well to get it to the byline, drills it across, and then the big Vouts moment. Adam, how did you feel about that goal?
Southampton unplayed. He did. I know it was a rebound from McTominay's shot, but
Poacher's goal in it.
built up to it. Yeah, Poacher's goal at the end of the day. Fox in the box. Rude, and then he celebrated like Rude actually running to the
Yeah,
corner. I
yeah.
said it was like how Rude celebrated against Arsenal, but the build up to it, the Palestri, I don't like. You're not expecting that. Like you pass it out, and there's like 3 men in front of him, and he just
Yeah.
gets by them all with ease. And like he has acres of space then to cross them into McTominay because he's sucking the defender out to him. Then I think one of the centre halves it was, and that frees up space for McTominay. Then the other centre back I think was then trying to mark McTominay, so that opened Vegas to have a free shot then on the rebound. And like you saw what it meant to him running to the side because he's been under a lot of criticism this
He was
week.
crying at one point. From what I saw, it looked like he was in tears.
Yeah, it did look like he was in tears, so it obviously meant the world to him. And I know Sam was probably happiest man at the ground to see him actually score that because
So good.
at times it feels like you just want the guy to do well. You do.
Yeah.
Like you almost feel bad in a way that he's missing these chances. For his sake, it's lucky that they were offside, a few of them. But it's been coming a while now, and I saw this statistic pop up. Like in the Europa League, I think he's played 3 games for us now, and his goal return is usually 1 in 3, so he's on 1 in 3 now.
Yeah. Sorry, just very quickly, something I wanted to pick up before on the Bruno goal. Forgot to mention it with Luke Shaw's delivery. By the way, I've seen it so many times over the past like good few weeks. Anyway, he's got a really good cross on him from set. Casemiro scored a good few headers off it. One from a corner today. His crossing ability is really, really good, and it's something that goes under the radar. So it's something I forgot to mention before. But
the Carabao Cup final as well. The goal, wasn't
exactly.
it? Not from the free kick.
Casemiro's had a
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's a weapon for us. And he was better today as well, to be fair, Luke Shaw. A lot of them was collectively. I thought it was nice for Ten Hag to throw him back out there and say, look, you got to go earn this trust back. Go win the game. And it worked out for him, clearly. Unless you've got any thoughts on that last goal, Sam.
Yeah,
we can move on to the ratings. But yeah, go for it.
The roof came off Old Trafford when Wout Weghorst scored that goal. Everybody was just begging for it to go in. Like I think because he works so hard for the team and does so much in terms of his play, his pressing, his break-up play, his passing at times sometimes can be really good. Against Liverpool, it was fucking shocking. But like most of the time, it's pretty decent. He's through balls, etc. And everybody's just like well behind the guy. Everybody loves the guy, and we're all just begging for it to go in. And when it went in, honestly, Roof, you'd think we'd won another trophy. The Old Trafford went absolutely insane, and if you said he looked like he was crying, I don't blame the guy because he's been trying his ass off trying to get a goal and doing everything else. So yeah, well happy for Big Veg for finally scoring a goal, and I hope this is like opening his bank account now. He starts like bagging him on the regular because it's been a while. So hopefully it's the start of something.
100%. What do we think this means now? For we're in a quarter-final, pretty much of a Europa League. You would say the tie's pretty much done and dusted. Unless we have an absolute failure at Real Betis' ground. We're in a quarter-final of the FA Cup. We're still strong in the top 4. It looks like this could turn out to be a really good season, couldn't it, Adam?
It's the thing. At the end of the day, you're going to be like lifting trophies. That's what you want to show on the list on the wall. Get the trophy in the air. You're not going to have 7-0 up on, a bus if you want.
Liverpool will. Liverpool definitely will.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, you had to give them a bit of sunlight. Otherwise, they're going to end up like the infected from The Last of Us. They're going to come out like bloaters because they haven't left their houses or seen the sunlight in so long. Poor season for them. So we done our doing. But, quarterfinals, more or less. We have 1 foot in the quarterfinal now. I can't see them getting 3 goals back, and if they do, surely we can get 1. Just score 1 away from home, and that's it, done. And if you score first, they're done. Quarterfinals of that, quarterfinals of the FA Cup. City are the only big team left in the FA Cup, and probably Arsenal are the toughest in the Europa League.
What score did their game? It was 2-2 when I went to Ultra. It finished 2-2. Okay.
Well, I was just about to ask you about that because obviously the 2 favourites that are in the competition at the minute, Sam, are Arsenal and United. But I watched Arsenal today against Sporting. They did rotate quite a bit, but I thought Sporting, for the best parts, were a better team. So do you fancy our chances in the Europa League, do you think?
Yeah, for sure. Like I did see the team. There was quite a lot of strong people in that team, to be fair, though.
Yeah, there were still good players in there, but there was rotation like Ødegaard came out and there was a couple of others.
But like I
So-
saw the back, like Saliba was still in there, wasn't he? And stuff
Xhaka
like that.
was in
So,
there
like,
as well. Yeah.
like it wasn't.
Zinchenko.
Yeah, it wasn't
Martinelli.
like a shocking team by any means. But if you never know, was that at Sporting tonight, or was that at?
Yeah.
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 So you'd probably think Arsenal, when it comes to the Emirates, they'll probably win that tie, I imagine, because they seem to do really well at the Emirates at the minute. The Bournemouth game, wasn't that at the Emirates where they came back and scored and won?
Yeah.
So that could be the case there. So I'd fancy us against Arsenal. I think we beat him on the counter at Old Trafford, and I think the only reason we didn't beat him at the Emirates is we lacked Casemiro, so we just got played through in that midfield and got cut open quite a lot. I think if Casemiro plays that game, I think it's at least a draw. If not, might have been able to snatch it. So I don't fear Arsenal. As long as we, like you said, we don't switch off completely like we did against Liverpool. I think we can beat Arsenal. And then who else is left in the competition that would be a threat, really?
Juve.
Yeah, maybe Juventus, Union Berlin are having a good season, but
Yeah.
you'd think Arsenal and United are favourites. And imagine that as a final.
Be good, that.
What a final
good.
that'd be. Yeah. Unreal.
They got hammered in a final by Chelsea, did not too long ago in the Europa League final.
4-0, wasn't
Under
it?
Arteta.
Something like that.
Under Arteta.
Very interesting. So let's see what happens with that. We're in the quarterfinal. Arsenal still got a tough test with Sporting Lisbon. Sporting Lisbon could have, honestly, they could have gone 3-4-1 up. They missed big chances and then ended up conceding. So that's an interesting tie. We'll see what happens. Let's do the player ratings. We'll start with the infamous David De Gea. What do you want to? Who wants to kick that off with that rating?
D. He was terrible. Just his passing, his distribution was shocking. He conceded. He might have conceded a second as well when it hit the post. I thought he was terrible. From my perspective, anyway, I thought he had one of the worst games in a United shirt for a long time. I think a better team scores a couple of goals against us with those arid passes that he was doing.
Yeah. Sorry, very quickly. Completely forgot about one of the situations. Bruno, quick decision, the red card on the tackle on the keeper. Yes or no?
I wasn't close enough to see it.
No, right.
I saw him slide in, and then the ball went out of play. So it didn't look like anything for where I was from. And then he booked him.
Yeah.
And then everybody was going mental. Like they were saying it wasn't a foul, or I don't know. So but I wasn't close. I've not watched it back on the highlights, and I wasn't close enough to see. So.
Adam, you had a great angle like myself. What was your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think look, if he had the studs up, red card any day, like going in like that with the boot up. But it's the fact that he turned his leg to the side then.
Yeah.
So he purposely didn't try and actually hurt him. He actually tried to not hurt him, which said everything. So there was no intent. He was actually going for the ball, but it was in the follow through. But he still had time to actually kind of move the foot to the right. So his studs weren't really raised then. So I think at the end of the day, I do think it is a booking anywhere, but never a red.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, right, we'll continue with the ratings now. Are we all agreed? De Gea gets a D? Yeah. Cool. Diego Dallo, interesting one. For me, Wan-Bissaka starts now. I think. I've seen enough of him since he's come back from his injury. He's got looked the same.
He's got like a World Cup hangover or something, hasn't he?
It's strange. It's very, very strange because he's not himself. I'm not seeing that spark from him. And Wan-Bissaka, when he came on, again, spark from him, really good in possession, getting forward. Adam nearly tricked me with a goal. He said 5-1 Wan-Bissaka in the chat, and I nearly went for it. I nearly bit the bait. I was like, nah, I'm not having that. That's too much. But yeah, Dallo was just bang average for me today. I'd give him a C.
Yeah, I think looking at it today, Dallo nothing higher than a C. Didn't really do anything awful, horrendously bad, but he just hasn't looked that good, as you said, since the World Cup. Then you have Wan-Bissaka coming in, and I never thought we'd be having this conversation about Wan-Bissaka, especially after January. Yeah, and it just goes to show that. Yeah, and I think it's a consistent run of games too. Maybe Dallo was a bit, after everything that happened a week ago, but yeah, I think going forward now it's Wan-Bissaka because he's even looking better going forward, and I never thought I'd say that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So a C today.
Yeah, agreed with that, Sam?
Yeah, his forward play wasn't fantastic by any means. Defensively, like he wasn't shit, but he wasn't on it, and it's a shame because I was hoping to see that once he came back from the injury, I was hoping to see the Dallo that we saw before the World Cup, and we really haven't.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. I think Wan-Bissaka's outplayed him and took his spot. And I think you need to start playing him. Shout out to a couple of people in the chat. Lewis Jackson got it right with the score. Why didn't I bet on it? Yeah, that's always the way, mate. Anthony's wank. I mean, we know Lewis doesn't like a few players, so it is what it is. John Raphael, big up United. Shoestring Budget Podcast. Glory going Man United. Should have had 6 or 7 tonight. Great second half and a big boost ahead of Sunday. Wan-Bissaka has to start. And he said, great show, lads. Have a good night. You have a good night as well, mate. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Cheers.
Oh, we've had a good night so far. United winning 4-1. So absolutely. Rafael Varane, Lissandro, I thought much better today. Not amazing by their standards, but certainly better than fucking Sunday. So I think if I was to judge them individually, I think Lissandro had a slightly better game. I think it was more important in terms of ball progression. He's so pressed with the situation with like 4 Betis players.
He just turns, doesn't it? He just turns and then he's away.
It's just like, so placid with it, and so just makes life playing out from the back so much easier. And for that, I'd give him slightly higher than Varane. I'd probably give Varane a C+ and Lissandro a B, maybe. I'd go like that.
I think B-. The thing is, as a collective, they didn't really have much other than that maybe 15-minute spell in the first half. And then they were just passing it over and back. They didn't have any, to make a last-ditch tackle, nothing like that. Second half was cruise control for us. We did up at a gear, but we never felt like, the other Betis were actually coming on to us. They're actually, going to score at any point.
Yeah.
But as a collective, I'd probably give them that kind of C+ average, but I would have given, I suppose, Lissandro a bit of a higher rating for that turn alone. So I think B- for him and C+ for Varane. Agreed,
Sam?
I think maybe you're being a bit harsh on Varane. From where I was sitting, I thought he had a decent game. I thought he was all right. Obviously, he's not to his normal standards, so I'd give a B- to Varane and a B to Lissandro. I thought Lissandro was the better of the two. Really good on the ball, like I said, press resistant. The turns he was doing when people were pressing him was excellent, and he's a great passer with the ball as well. There was a couple of balls out to Anthony and Rashford that he did that I thought were really good. So B for Lissandro, B- for Varane.
They complement each other really well, them two.
Really,
Still can steal 2.0. Luke Shaw, now it's a double-sided review from me because the cross he puts in for Bruno Fernandes is fantastic. He gets an assist, but the goal that Jose Perez scores, it doesn't get out to him quick enough.
Yeah.
So I would have given him a B because of the assist. I thought he had an overall decent game, especially again when you compare it to Sunday, but not getting out quick enough. Maybe he was a little bit leggy. Maybe that's why Malacia came on. I'm not entirely sure, but I'd maybe just give him a C+. Maybe, I don't know. I'm struggling a little bit with that. Adam?
I think C+. He did get the assist and the delivery. I think he's kind of surpassed now in this season Robertson as that kind of go-to left back in terms of crossing ability. He just looks unbelievable every time he whips the ball in, and we're not using it near enough that I thought we would. In particular, because a lot of the time he kind of goes into the middle rather than the overlap. And I don't know why that is, because it's a potential route, I suppose, to maybe getting more shots on goal. But I think today, at fault for the goal, maybe keeper could have done better. It was a really, really good finish, and I didn't expect him to actually shoot from that angle. I was expecting a cross, but I think C+, probably the C+ just for the assist alone.
Sam, you was very critical on Sunday of his performance. Was he much better for you today?
Yeah, much better. Definitely the performance that we needed after that. Absolutely. I thought, Bruno aside, on Sunday, I thought he was one of the worst in the team. I thought he was shocking, especially the second half. Absolutely lost his head. He was just doing ridiculous shit. A lot better today. Like you said, got the assist, but was at fault for not getting out to the Real Betis player. I thought overall, though, I thought he had a decent game. I'd go B- or C+. He's somewhere in there, I think. So I'm happy to go with you guys if you're saying C+. But I thought he was a lot better. I'll go B- because I thought he was decent. I did. I didn't think he was he was bad by any means.
Okay, fair enough. Do we say C plus? I do. Just for average because I didn't get. Okay. Casemiro again, much better as well. I mean, it's hard for him not to be. I keep saying it, but it's hard for him not to be better than Sunday because he was all absolutely dog shit. So yeah, Casemiro today, some of his first time passing is so important in that role because McTominay just cannot do what he does. Left foot, right foot, in behind. But equally, give it away a couple of times. I think it was you, Adam, who noticed that. In the game. So what did we give Casemiro? Not a major standard, but he's still a very, very important player for us. So I don't know. I'm a bit stuck with Casemiro's rating as well.
The guy is like, he just thinks of the decision before he even makes it, like, and before he even has the ball, he's already made the decision on the pass he wants to do. And I think it was in the first half, he'd done like a bit of a back heel, kind of twirled it around, and Anthony should have gotten the end of it, but Anthony, for whatever reason, wasn't picking up that position just on the edge of the box. But the guy switches it so well, and I don't think we've had maybe a ball switcher. I know that sounds weird, but a ball switcher this good is really like
the right.
Yeah, do you remember Rooney when he used to just turn on that kind of corner and just switch it out to the fullback? The guy, he does that now. He does. Michael Carrick maybe done it every now and then, but Casemiro's doing it 2-3 times a game, and we're getting into really good positions. Maybe he gave away it in the build up. Was it to their goal?
Yeah,
he did. So you're thinking made a bit of a mistake there. C plus, B minus. If you're giving Luke Shaw, who had an assist, C kind of plus.
You got C
I suppose you have to give Casemiro 1 too.
Yeah. Sam?
I'd go B minus. I thought he had a really good game. Effective passing, breaking up play. He did give the ball away a couple of times, but I think I didn't expect any sort of perfect performances from any players after Sunday. I thought there's going to be shaky moments. I thought there's going to be times where things like that would happen just because of what went on. But I think, really good performance. Probably could have got in on goals at points, like when passes could have been squared out to him. I know he had that tame shot that sort of just drifted a bit wide, but I thought he was really good. I'd go with B minus. I thought he was really decent. Obviously not at his absolute best standards, but again, who is, because it's Casemiro. But B minus I'd go with. I thought he was decent.
Okay. Either a C plus or a B minus for the steady Eddie, as he's called. Fred next to him. Again, I'm a bit like, Fred's so hard to fucking rate because he just does some shit. How many times have we said this? Like, I don't need to repeat myself. You know exactly what I'm going to say. So I'm just going to give him a C because I just thought he was average. He had some really good bits, but he had some really bad bits as well where he lost it. So average for me.
Again, right in the middle. He can be the opposition's best player, and he can be our best player at times. There's no in between on this guy. I suppose C today. Yeah, C. I can't argue with that.
I'd go with a C plus. I thought some of his passing was really good. I think Casemiro's rubbing off on him because some of his through balls and like sort of picking out people is just like is really good. And you think with Fred as well, like normally when he gets hold of the ball, you like this could go anywhere. This could go to them. This could go into row Z. This could hit the referee. You don't fucking know with Fred. But I thought it was really good today. I thought he got it together more times than not. But again, like you said, he'll then do stupid stuff, like give the ball away or a stupid tackle or something like that. So he's just like, all we ever want from Fred is consistency. It's all we've ever wanted from Fred. Because I think on his day, he's fucking unplayable. Yeah. But he only has his day for about half a game at a time, which is a problem.
So, but again, it's a bit important. He is important, exactly. In his legs in the midfield. But that's what I thought. I absolutely agree with you that his passing was decent at times. Some of the passes playing out to Anthony and stuff. But it's the opposite for me today. I just look at that. 3 out of 13 ground duels he won in terms of his tackling. Yeah. So he wasn't on it, which he usually is. He's usually quite tenacious and stuff, and losing it in the middle of the park.
It's like he can't pick what to be good at. It's like, right, today I'm going to be really good at passing, but I'm going to be shit at that. And then the next game is like, he'll win every tackle, he'll get up for every header, but then his passing will be complete and utter shite. It's like he can't pick something to be good at. He just picks something and again, all right, I'm going to do that really well this week. And
So true.
that's
Did you notice? Did you notice he was deployed in a more advanced position than Bruno today? He was actually played in the number 10.
Switching a bit, wasn't it, at times?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Large points in the first half, he was actually that kind of number 10, and it looked like you know, for 30 minutes it was actually working out. He was actually winning the ball back at certain times, kind of intercepting the ball here and there, and then it just kind of collapsed in those last 15 minutes. And then second half starts and cruise control, just like he done really nothing wrong, but for the 15-minute period, it wasn't great.
He's a good box to box. He's a good box to box player. That's what Fred's good at. Box to box. That's where he's really good. I'll go with C. Yeah, I'll go with C+. That would be my rating.
Okay. Adam, what was yours? Just so I can lock it in, because I said C. Sam said C+. What are you giving it?
C. Just in the middle, C.
Okay, let's try to get through these because we're getting a little bit stuck for time now. I'm going to say it straight away. My man of the match, Bruno Fernandes, B+. So much better today. I thought he was, got his goal from the corner, which I think he deserved. The second half especially, he had some moments where it was like proper Bruno, like where he was just sending people left, right, centre, link up play really well. He got drafted a little bit more central, which is where I like to see him. I don't like seeing him on the left. I don't like seeing him on the right. I like seeing him where he should be, the nucleus in the middle, linking up with players. So I think it's his best position ultimately. And I'd give him a B+ today. I thought B for Bruno. I thought my man of the match.
B+ for me today. Goal, and I think he got an assist as well. Could be wrong, but I thought I saw it on SofaScore. Yeah, just double check that. I think I saw it on SofaScore. But like, it's clear and obvious. Put him in midfield and look what happens. I don't know why we're playing him out the wing the whole time. Especially like if he's playing every minute of every game. You saw it at Anfield last week, and I keep bringing it up. I hate bringing it back up, but he just ran himself into the ground. He did, and he didn't want to run back, and then that kind of isolates the fullback. So put him in the middle and look at the chances we create then. And he gets a goal, and I think he got the assist anyway.
He did for Anthony. Yeah. He got the assist. So goal and assist for Bruno Fernandes. Is he your man of the match, Sam, or have you gone with something different?
I probably would go with Bruno. If not Wout Weghorst, they'd be between them two for me. I thought Bruno, fantastic. All the slagging off that Bruno got, and stripping with the captaincy, he's fucking like all that sort of stuff that he got after the Liverpool game. He should have been rightly criticised because he did have an absolute shocking game and just absolutely capitulated. But that's when Bruno's at his best, that's what he does. That's how effective he is. That's the captain's performance. That's the number 10 that you expect of him. Gets in and scoring goals, gets an assist. His passing was on point. His tackling, he was aggressive, which is what you want from Bruno, without the petulant side as much. That's what I want from Bruno week in, week out. If we can have that Bruno week in, week out, fantastic. Yeah, B+.
Cool. And then let's try to do these three quick if we can, if possible. Anthony. I don't know. I have no idea. But he scored a banger. So
that's all he does. That's all he's got.
He played like he's Brazilian. He played like his fellow Brazilian Fred today. Really good, really bad.
Really good in parts and then really bad in parts. So it feels harsh giving him a C though, because
all he's got. It's literally all he's got every time.
Well, aside from that, I can't lie.
He cuts onto his left and he wants to ping it round into that top corner, and he scores 1 out of 6, 1 out of 7 of them. That's it.
And there was a lot of opportunities where he could have squared it, or
he's wasteful. He's wasteful at times, like really wasteful. Like we could have, like who was it in the chat? Shoestring Budget Podcast could have had 6 or 7 tonight if Anthony puts his chances away and if Weghorst puts his chances away. So
do we give him a C then? Are we all agreed?
I think a C. But the thing is, like, he's 2 moments away from potentially being your man in the match. Then if he actually squares the ball and finishes that 1-1, just needs to be less greedy. So I think the greediness, I'm actually taking a few kind of points away from, I think, C today.
Okay. Weghorst, B.
Yeah, I thought he was really good. I thought he was fantastic. I thought the work he put in, the pressing, his passing was on point. He got the ball out to Anthony often, out to Rashford, and when Palestri came on, he seemed to link up really well with Palestri. Like, Palestri seemed to love the guy. It's like perfect sort of dual play there, and he got his goal. I'm so happy. Like, I was literally just saying to the girlfriend, I'm not leaving till he scores, and he got one. and hopefully that's the start of something, because he gets in so many great positions all the time. He's in a fantastic position. His finishing is just shocking, but he's got a goal. Old Trafford loved it. Roof came off. Hopefully this is the start of something. He can get a couple of goals in the next few games, because I'm pulling for the guy because he's so good for the team. His scoring is letting him down. But I thought it was a really good performance.
Yeah. Just notched a couple down. It would have been a contender for man of the match, to be fair. I did not miss them chances, I did.
Yeah. I know there was the one big chance in the first half that the defender did kind of block. Didn't win the corner from that, but at times he's finishing, it just looks horrendous. And as harsh as it sounds, we are crying out for a really, really good, proper number 9. Like, can you imagine if we had someone like, say, Harry Kane, for example, Osimhen, Benzema, Lewandowski? Like, if we had these sort of players in the positions that he's picking up, they're finishing them 9 times out of 10. He seems to be missing them 9 times out of 10, which I know it sounds harsh, but I thought he played all right today. Linked up the player pretty well, better in that kind of number 9 position. We created chances for him, but it's just about building confidence, I suppose. And hopefully, as Sam said, he can go on that run. I'd probably give him a B- today.
Okay, that's fair. And then the last but not least, Marcusio Rashford with an absolute Ronnie Rocket, some people might call it, in the top right corner. Unbelievable. But then the rest of the game has its moments. But just gets a goal, doesn't it? There's my goal. I'm done for the night. That's kind of it. C+, fair for Marcus, do you think?
I think you got to give him a B- for that goal, haven't you? Like, that goal.
Oh, yeah.
Ridiculous.
Might be too harsh there.
Maybe. But like you said, like Rashford at the minute, he'll pop up with a goal, but then most of the time he's not involved in the game. Like, he doesn't really do much. Like, there was a couple of times where I think him and Anthony switched wings at times, and he was playing on the right. He was just ineffectual. Like, did nothing. And then when he came out to the left, he was getting a run at a fullback, but he'd lose the ball, he'd pass it into him, and he just wasn't at his best. But he scored a goal, and he scored a fantastic goal. And it's just like, even when you're not playing that well and you're still scoring goals like that, you can't argue with that, can you? Like,
of course not.
So I'd go B-. I thought he got a great goal. Like, not involved in most of the game, but a fantastic goal like that. Like,
Adam, you get the final say on that one.
I think the guy today, the best way to describe it was like a trapdoor spider. It was just like quiet, silence, nothing, just boom, up and down. That was it. Yeah, and that's the killing strike. It is. I must look into his stats in terms of chance creation, because I'm noticing he isn't creating a lot of chances. No. He's very, very quiet. Like, I know we're harsh on Anthony in that maybe, but he did create 1 or 2 chances, but you don't see it from the other side with Rashford. He just pops up with the goal, and then he's like, "Okay, my job here is done." And like, what you do? I got the goal. That's it. And I think it might be harsh, but I think C+.
Okay.
Shout out to Palestri, by the way. Like, Palestri, I thought was really good when he came on. So bright. Literally was running at defenders. I was like, I've been crying out for Anthony to do that the entire game. And
crying out for Sancho. We spent 150 million on Anthony and Sancho, and then we get Palestri, who's a young kid who we paid about 10 million for, whatever it is, and he's coming on and doing what they're not.
Yeah, I thought he's so quick. That kid is rapid, so quick, really good with the ball at his feet. Was taking on fullbacks and defenders. And I was just like, I don't understand why this guy hasn't been playing more, because he's fucking great. I think he's really good. I can see what Shreya sees in him, and I hope he gets an opportunity soon, because I think he's great. I think he's really good player.
Yeah, I hope next week.
Yeah. Hopefully. I think the supply chain in Delhi for toilet roll might be running a little bit low after Shreya's watching that performance.
I bet he was asleep. I bet he was asleep as well, wasn't he? I bet he missed it.
Oh, of course he was. He'll wake up in the morning. I will hear all about it. I'm sure about that. So big up the substitution. Sancho relatively bright. It was okay when he came on. Palestri fantastic. McTominay just does what he does. I don't think I missed any other subs, did I? Anyone else come on?
Malacia did all right. He was all right.
Yeah. This is what it is, isn't it? And shout out to Eric Ten Hag as well. Nice to bounce back, get back into that, swing the pendulum back our way, and hopefully we continue that winning momentum.
The manager too for not changing the team. Plenty of people were unhappy with that, but he went with the same team that lost to Liverpool, and it got the result at the end of the day. Maybe you're thinking, well, what has he done here in terms of going into the break 1-1? But second half we come out and we just blew them off the park. Then we didn't look. They didn't threaten us at all in that second half, and I think that's down to the management. That is
could have gone either way.
Yeah. I think the game was the opposite to the colour on Ten Hag's been from grey to very colourful. It was very nice, very, very nice. And big up to Ten Hag. It was more like Eric Ten Hag tonight. He had that bit of a street look about him. Do you know what I mean? Just like, yeah, it's time to get business done tonight.
I was like, because I was so far away, and I was looking at touchline. There was a guy. I was like, who the fuck's the guy with the beanie on?
It was weird.
And I was strange. Just like, who the fuck? And then somebody was like, it's Ten Hag. I was like, oh right, is he wearing a hat? And like,
you know what it looked like? Do you know when you create your Mii characters on Nintendo Wii? And you get them guys with the bobby hat. That's what he looked like. I didn't recognise him myself when he came out, but obviously I keep wearing it, mate. If we win, I don't give a fuck. Right, from a blip to a barn burner, we smash Real Betis. That is the review of the game finished 4-1. We're pretty much through to the quarterfinals, you would say. Quarterfinals in the FA Cup as well. Still strong in top 4. So it's not all rain, as people might have thought after Sunday. We bounced back. So thank you for coming on the review, guys. You're more than welcome to add any final thoughts you've got, but apart from me, I'm done. My part's done.
Yeah, Liverpool, enjoy your bus stop parade for your 7-0 win. I'm sure you'll be organising that soon. And enjoy finishing below us in the league and no trophies, because we're probably going to win another one and we'll finish above you. So enjoy that. I've been enjoying the comments actually. All the Scousers have collectively come together, sharing a brain cell, and they've all come together and done the same joke over and over again, which is really, really nice. And
how many days in a week?
Fantastic joke, lads. I'm glad like 300 of you have repeated it and you've all got an original thought in your head, so enjoy yourselves. But keep commenting, because it just helps us. Pushes our interactions up, pushes us through the algorithm, so just keep commenting. I'll keep replying as well, so just keep doing it. Loving it.
Absolutely. Make sure you follow us on socials as well. Adam, any final thoughts you want to add on?
Just Jamie Carragher putting the 7-up on the desk, and Peter Schmeichel came up with a good wee reply there. It's like that, the amount of own goals that you scored in the league, and it actually was dead on 7.
Did somebody say Coke Zero? But Gary Neville come on with a Coke Zero next time for how many titles Jamie Carragher's won. So
yeah, I love it. Right, we move forward anyway. That result is in the back of our minds. It's completely gone dusted. You're only as good as your last game. It was 4-1. We smashed Betis, and lots of confidence. Love it. We'll see you guys tomorrow for. Oh God, what have we got tomorrow?
Breaking
Remind
news
me, Sam,
show.
please.
New show.
Breaking news show, is it? I think.
Yeah.
I don't have a fucking clue.
Southampton preview Saturday, because we play Sunday.
Saturday, Oh yes, it's Friday tomorrow. Q&A breaking news show with me and Shreyas.
Have you seen the comment from Lewis as well, Adam? Yeah.
I'm just thinking they probably lost count after 3. They did. Maybe their brain cells were destroyed.
Lewis's comment: mad to find a Scouser that can count. So there you go.
Love that. Perfect way to end it. All right, take care of yourself, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.